Feminist epistemology, a critical perspective within the broader field of epistemology, examines how gender influences our understanding of knowledge, its production, and validation. It seeks to uncover and challenge the biases and power structures embedded within traditional epistemological frameworks. This approach highlights the ways in which gender, along with intersecting social categories such as race, class, and sexuality, shapes not only what we know, but also who is considered a legitimate knower and how knowledge is validated and disseminated. The history of knowledge production has been predominantly male-dominated, with women and other marginalized groups often excluded from formal educational institutions, intellectual circles, and scientific communities. This exclusion has led to the marginalization of their perspectives and the devaluation of their contributions. Feminist epistemologists argue that this androcentric bias results in incomplete and distorted knowledge that fails to account for the experiences and insights of half the population. Central to feminist epistemology is the critique of objectivity, a cornerstone of traditional epistemology. The claim to objectivity often disguises the subjective positions and interests of dominant groups. Feminist scholars argue that what is often presented as objective, neutral knowledge is actually imbued with the biases and assumptions of those in power, typically white, Western men. By uncovering these biases, feminist epistemology seeks to make explicit the ways in which power relations shape knowledge production and validation. One key concept in feminist epistemology is situated knowledge. This notion posits that all knowledge is produced from a specific social and historical context, influenced by the knower's position within intersecting systems of power and oppression. Rather than striving for an impossible, detached objectivity, feminist epistemologists advocate for recognizing and valuing the partial, situated perspectives of marginalized groups. This approach emphasizes the importance of diverse viewpoints in creating more robust and inclusive knowledge. Feminist standpoint theory is a prominent framework within feminist epistemology that highlights the epistemic advantage of marginalized groups. According to this theory, individuals from oppressed groups, such as women, possess unique insights into social structures and power dynamics due to their lived experiences. These standpoints can provide a more accurate and comprehensive understanding of social reality, challenging dominant perspectives that often overlook or misrepresent the experiences of the marginalized. The concept of epistemic injustice is also central to feminist epistemology. Epistemic injustice occurs when individuals are wronged specifically in their capacity as knowers. Two key forms of epistemic injustice identified by feminist scholars are testimonial injustice and hermeneutical injustice. Testimonial injustice happens when a speaker's credibility is unjustly deflated due to prejudice, often based on gender, race, or other social identities. Hermeneutical injustice arises when there is a gap in collective interpretive resources, rendering certain groups' experiences and perspectives unintelligible or marginalized. Feminist epistemologists argue that addressing these injustices is crucial for creating a more equitable and inclusive epistemic community. Feminist critiques have also extended to the methodologies and practices of various disciplines, including science. Traditional scientific methods, with their emphasis on objectivity, detachment, and quantification, have been scrutinized for their androcentric biases. Feminist scholars have pointed out how these methods often exclude or trivialize phenomena that do not fit within their narrow frameworks. For instance, research on women's health has historically been neglected or skewed by biases that prioritize male bodies and experiences. By incorporating feminist insights and methodologies, such as reflexivity, participatory research, and an emphasis on qualitative data, scientists can produce more comprehensive and socially relevant knowledge. The impact of feminist epistemology extends beyond academia, influencing policy, activism, and everyday practices. By highlighting the gendered dimensions of knowledge production, feminist epistemologists contribute to broader social justice movements that seek to dismantle systemic inequalities and promote the voices and experiences of marginalized groups. This work has practical implications for various fields, including education, healthcare, law, and technology, where addressing gender biases can lead to more equitable and effective outcomes. In education, feminist epistemology encourages curricula that reflect diverse perspectives and challenge traditional canons dominated by male voices. This approach fosters critical thinking and empathy, empowering students to question dominant narratives and recognize the value of marginalized knowledge. In healthcare, acknowledging the gender dimensions of knowledge can improve medical research and practice, leading to better health outcomes for women and other marginalized groups. Similarly, in law, feminist epistemology can inform more just and inclusive legal frameworks that consider the experiences and needs of all individuals, particularly those historically excluded from legal discourse. Technology and the digital age present new challenges and opportunities for feminist epistemology. The development and implementation of technologies are often shaped by the same gendered biases present in other fields. For example, algorithms and artificial intelligence systems can perpetuate and even exacerbate existing inequalities if they are built on biased data or designed without considering diverse perspectives. Feminist epistemology calls for a critical examination of these technologies, advocating for inclusive design processes and the integration of feminist principles to ensure that technological advancements serve all members of society equitably. Despite the significant contributions of feminist epistemology, it faces resistance and challenges. Some critics argue that emphasizing the social and political dimensions of knowledge undermines the pursuit of objective truth. They contend that feminist epistemology risks relativism, where all perspectives are seen as equally valid, potentially eroding the standards of rigorous inquiry. However, feminist epistemologists counter that acknowledging the situated nature of knowledge does not entail abandoning the search for truth. Instead, it involves a more nuanced understanding of objectivity that recognizes the influence of social context and power relations. Feminist epistemology also grapples with internal tensions and debates. For instance, there are diverse perspectives within the field regarding the best approaches to achieving epistemic justice and inclusivity. Some feminist scholars emphasize the importance of integrating marginalized voices within existing epistemological frameworks, while others advocate for more radical transformations that challenge the foundations of traditional epistemology. These debates reflect the dynamic and evolving nature of feminist epistemology, as it continuously engages with new challenges and strives for greater inclusivity and justice. The future of feminist epistemology lies in its ability to adapt and respond to emerging issues and contexts. Intersectionality, a concept that examines how various forms of oppression intersect and interact, plays a crucial role in contemporary feminist epistemology. By addressing the complexities of intersecting identities and power dynamics, feminist epistemologists can develop more comprehensive and inclusive analyses. This approach is particularly important in an increasingly globalized and interconnected world, where diverse perspectives and experiences are essential for addressing complex social and epistemic challenges. Moreover, feminist epistemology can benefit from engaging with other critical epistemological traditions, such as decolonial and critical race epistemologies. These frameworks share a commitment to uncovering and challenging power dynamics in knowledge production, and their intersections can enrich feminist analyses. By incorporating insights from these traditions, feminist epistemology can deepen its understanding of how various forms of oppression shape knowledge and work towards more inclusive and just epistemic practices. In conclusion, feminist epistemology offers a vital and transformative perspective on knowledge production, highlighting the ways in which gender and other social identities influence what we know and how we know it. By challenging androcentric biases, advocating for the recognition of situated knowledge, and addressing epistemic injustices, feminist epistemologists contribute to more inclusive and equitable knowledge practices. Their work has far-reaching implications for various fields and broader social justice movements, emphasizing the importance of diverse perspectives in creating a more just and knowledgeable world. As feminist epistemology continues to evolve and engage with new challenges, it remains a crucial tool for understanding and addressing the complexities of knowledge production in a deeply unequal world.